Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we're going to be taking a look at our Rhino-Rack ski and snowboard carrier and fishing rod carrier right here on my 2014 Toyota Prius V. You've got your gear, you've got your ski and snowboard pants, you're ready to hit the slopes, but how do you get your skis and snowboards there? Well, what you would need is a carrier just like this. So this is the Rhino-Rack ski and snowboard carrier. It's a locking carrier, and it's one of your more affordable, low-profile, small, compact carriers from the carriers we have here at etrailer. So in this video, we're going to take a look at some of the different specs, what kinds of skis and snowboards can we put on there, how easy is it to put on our Prius V, so that you can make the right decision for what is the best carrier for you, your equipment, and your Prius. So first we'll take some measurements with our Prius. If you have the Prius V without a roof rack, it's gonna be fixed position. So this is pretty much what you're gonna get when it comes to your placement of your ski and snowboard. Now, measuring from the top of the roof to the bottom of our snowboard, it sits at 8 inches of clearance. So this is where your skis and snowboards are going to sit. If you have extra tall bindings and that may be an issue, that's how much clearance you have for those bindings. Another option for you is obviously to have it bindings facing up. So that will help out as well if you do have the panoramic roof with seeing if you have enough clearance. As you can see, this is very compact. So this can fit up to 4 pairs of skis or 2 snowboards. You have a usable space of about 18¼ inches. Also, depending on your roof rack will determine where you can place this carrier. So distance from one clamp to another is going to be about 20½ inches. I'm using the inner roof rack with the extra long crossbars. That's the reason why I get to use the overhang. So that's something to keep in mind depending on what kind of roof rack do you have on your Prius. Now let's talk about security features. So we have 2 different security features in play here. The main one is going to be our lock course on the ski and snowboard carrier itself. So this helps deter theft of your equipment. Then there is a slight locking feature on the clamps of the carrier. So they're not going to be lock course, but they utilize a special hex bolt, and that requires a special Rhino-Rack tool in order to loosen them. We'll take a look at that later in the video when we look at the install. Now, when you have your mittens or your gloves on, is it still easy to grab your skis and snowboards? Well, we have this regular button up here. So you just slam that button. There we go. And now we can get our snowboard. So the arm has a spring, so notice that once it's open, it stays in the up position, which helps out as you are loading and unloading your skis and snowboards, because then you don't have to hold it up with one hand. So with our skis and snowboards off, we get to take a closer look at the carrier itself. So on the inside, you have this rubber strip, or I guess these rubber strips. These are going to be what are supporting your skis and snowboards. And because it has this design, that's why this can also double as a fishing rod carrier in the warmer months. So it fits around your equipment and just clamps down around them, adding extra grip while you're on the road, but also helping prevent extra scuffs and scratches since they're also a cushion. So while this does not have a double hinge to account for taller bindings or taller skis like some of our other ski and snowboard carriers have, one example of someone who does that is Yakima with their Fat Cat Evo. What this does have is this just has really tall rubber strips. So that should be enough to accommodate for those taller skis. But once you have them in place, this just ratchets down to secure them. You're gonna hear a click, and then this is gonna push out when it's fully engaged. So if you don't have it fully engaged, it's gonna be right there. And notice how it pops in and then pops back out. Now you can also choose which carrier you want depending on how many pairs of skis and snowboards or how many fishing rods you want to carry. So what we're looking at right now is the version that can carry 4 pairs of skis or 2 snowboards or 8 fishing rods. You can go even smaller. You can carry 2 pairs of skis, you can carry 3 pairs of skis, or you can get even bigger where you can carry 6 pairs of skis. You can also carry more fishing rods with those exact same carriers. So it's gonna be the exact same thing. You're gonna have the exact same height, the lock course, the button. The only difference is gonna be the length of the carrier itself. This also does not fold down when not in use. So this is going to be a fixed height. What height? Well, measuring from the top of our roof to the top of the carrier, it's 10 3/4 inches tall. So that's going to be something worth considering for if you're going to leave this on for a long time. You will experience wind drag and wind noise. So you will register a decrease in your MPG because of that wind drag. Now, I'd like to say it's relatively easy to install as long as you have the right tool. So you know what? Let's take a look at that. So for the install process, you're first going to want to use your Rhino-Rack tool in order to loosen the bolt up here. You can also just use your hands. Just make sure you have the clamps free. Now I'm going to use my Moki Doorstep, and that's just going to fit right into my door right there. And now we're going to go on to our crossbars, fit this over, and then tighten it down. Since the Prius V's crossbars slant a little bit towards the front, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tighten the ones closer to the rear first. That way it kind of skews it so everything looks even. Once all 8 bolts are tightened down, that's over here as well as your rear ski and snowboard carrier, just double check that everything looks secure. You could also have either your fishing rod or your snowboard already inside as you tighten it down if you think that's going to help you with making sure everything is level. But once everything is where you want it to be, that's it for the install. You're ready to load this up with your skis and snowboards or your fishing rods. And that was a look right here at our Rhino-Rack ski and snowboard carrier and fishing rod carrier right here on my 2014 Toyota Prius V. My name is Evangeline, and I hope you enjoyed the journey.